Good morning. I thought that we could do a little garden walk today. Come on. So this year, I was trying to really focus on certain things that I wanted to get done in the garden and just kind of work on those and not get too sidetracked with lots of other things. So some of my spaces have been worked on quite a bit, and then the other ones I've just kind of left alone, and that can be a next year or a future year thing. So this area here is going to be mostly just flowers and different herbs, kind of all on that side. And I am not touching this side because I don't have enough stuff to fill it. And I'm trying to snuff out the weeds that are kind of more pervasive on that side. And I've just started planting in a lot of things. I think it was well, actually I know Mother's Day, we actually had snow on the ground, it had snowed and it stayed on the ground. So we've kind of had a cool late spring. Now we're just finally into it. As you can see, today is quite beautiful. Beautiful blue sky. But I have lots of kind of fun little things in here. This is just for deer. My calendula is looking really good. I actually have some poppies in here. I have a Flemish antique and a gray poppy from Baker Creek. This is a balsam, which is a flowering plant where you can apparently eat all the different parts of it. It looks very beautiful in the pictures. I didn't have any success with it last year, but here's hoping that this year is a little bit better. I was just trying to find the tag, but apparently there's nothing written on it, so that's very helpful. I have things like Italian parsley and sage. I have some nasturtiums in here as well. Dill. These are bachelor buttons, which I was really debating about whether or not I wanted to plant in this garden bed, because I'm afraid they might get very well established and I won't be able to get rid of them. But maybe, I don't know, that could be a good thing. And here is horseradish that I started last year. And you can see it's looking pretty good, which I'm very excited for. I was worried that maybe it wouldn't have made it through the winter, but it did. So, it's good. Chives are looking excellent. Yep. This is Juniper. She's a new addition to the farm. You want to say hello? Okay. Not in them. This is another space where I'm just kind of trying to snuff out the weeds around the plants in here. And I planted, these are runner beans. And there's some on the other side of this trellis as well. I decided to put them in pots because I wasn't sure how well they would do here. It's quite sunny, but it also is the place that the trellis is, so I thought I would try it, and if they seem to be struggling from a young age, I just kind of move them maybe to a more shady spot and build something for them to climb up. But so far they're looking pretty good. So the lilacs are just about to have flowers. You can see. And this, I don't know what it is, some sort of fruit tree. I haven't seen any things on it yet. Usually it just has flowers, so maybe had been planted as just a primarily ornamental type of tree, but it's very beautiful. I'm not really doing much with this one either this year. It's not a battle I am choosing to wage. I do have a lot of leaves down to try to hopefully kill out a lot of the grasses that were growing in here. And last year I had figured out kind of like what had been planted already in this area from the previous owners, so I can kind of strategize on how to try to knock out all the weeds that are growing in here. This year there was a tulip, which didn't come up last year, so that's cool. Just one single lovely tulip. There she is. The poppies are in here. These are like very red poppies. Lupins. And this is a mix of gladiolus that I had planted in here, and you can see they are just coming up. Alright, so this is where I've been doing most of the work and putting my efforts into. Kind of behind me here. Last year I had just some like in-ground gardens kind of in this space, so there's like this one and like the far one, but then these two weren't here, and instead there's just like 3 like low mound gardens. But I made these boxes this year, so made these and this one over here. I used a bunch of lumber that we had got in an auction for that. It's just kind of like a rough sawn-ish. It's still pretty smooth, it's not planed. It's like a spruce lumber. And I used a bunch of like old fence posts and stuff that had been laying around the farm. I'll try to like open these up a bit so we can see what's in them. I have these frost blankets on them to well, I guess to keep them warm at night, but more to keep the deer out, because the deer know that this little area happens to be like a great smorgasbord. So I just planted a bunch of lettuces and like pak choi in here a couple days ago. This is Mizuna, which is kind of like a, I guess you would treat it as like a leafy green. It's like a Chinese like leafy green. I also have a little bit of like calendula in here to hopefully have some flowers to make it happy. And then these are called orchard cream nasturtiums, and these are like a aster. So this bed, I actually direct sowed everything in here. There's lots of beets and kales, turnips, rutabagas, mustards, kind of like all in there. And when did I do that? April 23rd. That's when I direct sowed everything in here. So you can see the kale looks like it's doing well. These are all kinds of different types of beets. I have golden beets. I have these ones called like Shiogo, and they have like stripes when you cut them in half. It's like red and white. This is a dragon tongue mustard, which is doing very well. And then I have Navone yellow rutabaga here, and oh, you're not allowed in here. You're not allowed in there. Oh, and then Tokanashi turnips over there. So this bed was all direct sown, but this bed I had started like from seed indoors and then transplanted out. This one is going to be all of like my zucchinis in here. This bed was also direct sown, and it's basically all radishes, with the exception of this guy, which is, I think it's Lottie Lan chamomile. The radishes are doing quite well. I've actually been kind of picking some out because it's quite thick. I even kind of went in and thinned them out when they were little. But the French breakfast radishes seem to do very well. They just like grow really fast and get to a good size like quickly. So, I mean, this one's like a little bit small, but yeah, French breakfast radishes are very good. I have several other kinds in there, but those are the ones that seem to be doing the best. Oh, I have a little bit of spinach. This is spinach, and this is bergamot from last year. I am very surprised that the spinach is doing well. This is the first year I've had like basically big leaves on my spinach because it just goes to seed so fast, it seems like every other year. So, I mean, these maybe don't look so impressive, you know? But to me, they are doing well. All right, and then this is the greenhouse that I am building, which I am very excited about. I have built this like all by myself. I kind of wanted to just do it by myself. And so it's pretty like simple because it's my first like solo building project. And it's gonna be just like a poly, so I'm just gonna put plastic over it. But you can see I've already like filled up the garden beds. It's pretty much done. I just need to put a few more boards in and then cover it with plastic. And then I'll be ready to go for all of my tomatoes, which is very exciting. One thing I was pretty excited about was I used a lot of like old scrap pieces of wood that we had like floating around that were short little ends. There was a lot of just like lumber lying around that was kind of starting to just rot like a little bit, and maybe wouldn't be so great for like actual like building things, but for this greenhouse it seemed okay. So almost all of it was repurposed, which is very cool. I had some of the lumber, like these 2x4s here, we had milled them like ourselves. We milled these ones ourselves. These ones are from the auction kind of 1x4 that we had bought, but like all of this, all of these, and this, and all of that was like repurposed. So I'm pretty excited about it. I'm very excited about it. Last year I had tried to grow tomatoes in like containers on my porch and stuff, and it just didn't go so well. So this year I'm feeling a little more optimistic. Yeah, I did bring in my husband a little bit for a bit of consultation, you know, be like, does this make sense if I do it this way? And for like filling it, probably to like here down is all just like logs and debris, like woody debris from around the property, which was like pretty cool because it cleaned up the yard a bit, you know. I just like went around and picked up all like the pieces of wood that was lying around because we accumulate a lot. We have like a wood boiler and everything, so yeah, it was good. Kind of filled it up with lots of woody debris, sawdust, some biochar, I guess you would say, just like kind of left over from burning bonfires in the winter. And then the top was dirt from like our local landfill, which is like a little weird to say, like our landfill, but they collect all the compost from the area and then they turn it into like a soil that people can buy for really inexpensive, which is a very, very cool thing to have. Like a half a dump truck load costs like $90. Good deal. I spent a lot of time on this raspberry patch. I have like put sawdust down and hay down and lots of things to try to like get rid of the grass that's growing in here, with very mixed success, as you can see. So yeah, if anyone has ideas how to like possibly get rid of all the grass that's growing in here, pass them along, because I don't know, my efforts seem to not be doing very much. This is kind of the I guess like an in-ground garden area, This is more of like that compost, broken down compost dirt here. You can see I had like a lot of cardboard that I was using, and then I'm putting like that compost dirt on top of it. These 3 are all onions. Then I'm gonna try to get potatoes in there, and then at some point I have some winter squash as well that I want to try to plant in this area, and try to like maybe near the edges, you know, somewhere, so that they can just like ramble outwards across the lawn a bit more. Still some work to do in this spot. I dumped all the dirt before I had the cardboard down, which I thought was a good idea because I had kind of snuffed out all the weeds in there, but the weeds are still coming back, as you can see. So I thought I had got rid of all of this, but I haven't, which means I think I'm gonna try to maybe move that, then put down the cardboard and continue on. But that is pretty much it. Oh, actually, I guess I could show you one last thing. Do you see these little guys in here? Those are my asparagus, which last year I had started asparagus from seed. And they didn't ever get in the ground because I couldn't like commit on the spot to put them, because asparagus is like a 30-year plant. So yeah, I just couldn't decide where I wanted them. And this year I started them again from seed and was like, I need to like actually get them in the ground. So I have some asparagus there, and then I think I'll put some more along this wall here. This is Converse Colossal. I also have Goulet Millennium, which is like a hybrid. And then I have one other one, Mary Washington's asparagus as well. So yeah, 3 types of asparagus that I'm hoping to grow. Oh, actually, I lied. There's one more thing I can show you. All of the plants that aren't in the ground yet, as of now, but hopefully will be soon. These are rhubarbs. I already have rhubarb. I've started more. It is what it is. I have lots of like basils and tomatoes and peppers that are going to be going into the greenhouse. So currently right now I'm kind of shuffling them in and outside so that hopefully they grow really quite fast. I have all like my zucchinis and winter squashes. Yeah, some more like calendula, some leftover lettuces. This is like amaranth, which is like a really beautiful color leaf. This is Thousand Head Kale, which is from Baker Creek, and one of their things that they say is that it's like one plate makes dinner. So we'll see if these little ones, one plate makes dinner. That's one of those things that I would like to plant in like the in-ground garden, because I expect it will get very large. And so I don't want it to like be taking up space in my raised bed so much. And then these are the asparagus seedlings, which look very ungainly, kind of floppy things. These ones look very upright. This is Mary Washington's. This is the Goulet Millennium, and then with some more Converse Colossal. That is the garden, or at least the start of the garden for this year. Thank you for watching, and I hope all of your gardens are growing beautifully. Bye. Hello, Moose. Hi. How are you? Are you finding lots of things over there?